She pulled the pin on that grenade and rolled it right into the locker room and let it blow up. She blew up her locker room. Her teammates can't stand her.
Harsh words, yes, but focus on what they create. Leverage or the lack of it. When the label becomes locker room problem, front offices stop asking, should we trade, and start asking, what can we still get? That's where the Chicago Sky are drifting. If they don't plan a full reset, moving the face of the brand becomes the most efficient path out of the noise. And that is exactly why one team keeps surfacing, the Atlanta Dream.
With the idea that Reese would go to Atlanta and replace Brittney Griner. Good God, is Angel going to Russia to play? Inquiring minds want to know.
Before we jump there, watch the return odds talk. Some insiders are openly putting Angel's chances of returning to Chicago in the 20-30% zone. That number isn't accidental, it's a public way to say the door is open, make your best offer. Why Atlanta? Because the front court is a question mark on purpose. Brittney Griner finished the year benched down the stretch and hit unrestricted free agency. That's not a minor note, that's a domino. When a former franchise pillar is on the move or re-evaluating her role, teams decide who will own the paint next. If the Dream want to double down on identity, glass, second chances, physicality, they won't shop for a soft solution. They'll shop for force, and like it or not, Angel Reese is force. There's also the storyline math. Atlanta already has guard and wing firepower. Rhyne Howard is rising. Allisha Gray is steady and fierce. What they've lacked is a front court engine who turns misses into momentum and gives their crowd a villain to cheer for at home and scream at on the road. Angel fits the silhouette. Elite rebounding, relentless motor, constant attention.
Reese also recently released her signature Reebok shoe, expressed that she might have to move into a different direction if the Sky can't improve the roster.
Let's take the Griner thread further, because this is where fans get heated. Replacement is an ugly word, but in roster terms it's about role, not resume. You aren't cloning Brittney Griner's game, you're filling the job, anchor the paint, crash the glass and change the crowd's temperature. Angel isn't a one-to-one comp with Griner. She doesn't have the same post package, but she tilts possessions. She gives you second shots and extra whistles. If you're the Dream and you believe your guards can cash those second chances, the math becomes obvious. And yes, there was that off-court breadcrumb, Griner flirting with Twitch streaming. It's not scandal, it's a signal. Stars are diversifying. If Atlanta interprets that as fewer minutes or a different role, they will aggressively reshape the front court. These things add up. Benching late, expiring deal, a public look at new lanes, it all points to a pivot. Chicago's side is simpler and harsher. Every headline that pairs Angel with locker room shaves value off the trade board. Buyers know the Sky want out. The longer this lingers, the cheaper the packages get. That's why early action favours Atlanta. Jump before the market hardens. Accept the PR hit now. Own the story later. This is how front offices play time. They buy before the price prints. So would Angel even fit on the floor? Positions are labels. Possessions are wins. Call her a 4, not a 5, that's fine. If she turns misses into points and whistles into free throws, your guards relax, your crowd spikes, and your defense can set aftermakes. Coaches will take that over a neat roster doc any day. Here's the counter you'll hear, but the drama. Absolutely. Angel brings decibels. If you're Atlanta, you mitigate that with order. You define roles in August, not November. You set private first, public last communication rules. You keep the team's oxygen on film and habit, not headlines and hashtags. Give the noise a lane, then keep your basketball lane clear. If Angel buys that, you've got the villain outward, not villain inward. That version sells tickets and wins games. There's also the expansion draft and free agency turbulence league-wide. When rosters are shifting anyway, bold teams get rewarded. A first rounder and a rotation piece is real capital. But think about what you're buying: identity, attention, and a nightly possession edge. If you believe you can coach the edges off the drama and keep the engine, you do it. That's the sentence that makes this real. Players don't say that by accident, and teams don't ignore it when the fit is already creaking. The Sky can either pretend the room will reset itself, or they can convert a noisy situation into a strategic asset while it still holds value. What about Griner? If she stays, Atlanta can still stagger lineups and use double big looks in short bursts, bully ball for 5 minutes, flip to pace the next 5. If she goes, the lane is clear. Either outcome keeps the Angel to ATL path open. Let's be practical about the risk. You are not buying a quiet star. You are buying a force on the glass, in the media and in the building. The risk is that the force turns inward. The solution is pre-commitment. Spell out the expectations, tech count targets, media discipline, and inside first standards. Tie incentives to those markers. Players respect clarity when it's consistent and fair. And remember, fans don't demand perfection, they demand progress. If the first month shows composure, the city will meet Angel halfway. Atlanta loves an edge that fights for it. They'll boo the villain you build on the road, and they'll buy the villain you deliver at home. Here's the heartbeat of the whole thing. The league is healthier when the drama is on the floor, not outside the tunnel. Angel to Atlanta moves the discourse from quotes to possessions. It creates a measurable story, second chance points, rebounding margin, fourth quarter composure. That's content that lasts longer than a news cycle because it shows up in box scores and playoff seedings. Chicago, meanwhile, gets a reset. They convert a volatile month into picks and pieces, they clear the room, they give their new core clean air. Not every breakup is failure. Sometimes it's the grown-up move that lets two projects finally become themselves. That single word, replace, is why this will dominate talk shows. But strip the emotion and keep the logic. You're not replacing Brittney Griner, the legend. You're replacing the front court job in Atlanta. Patrol the paint, own the glass, flip momentum. Angel can do that job her way. Different tools, same outcome, more possessions than the other team. With Howard and Gray finishing actions, that is a winning equation. So here's where I land. If the price is Naz Hillmon plus a 2026 first, I think Atlanta should say yes. If Chicago wants 2 firsts, I push. But I don't walk because identity is expensive and window timing is real. The Dream are one mean rebounder away from being everyone's least favourite matchup. Angel is the exact kind of player who can make a city loud and a series short. Tell me where you land. Does Angel to ATL solve a problem or start a bigger one? If you're Chicago, do you hold for more or move before the market cools? And if you're Atlanta, do you risk the noise for the engine? Drop it in the comments, and if you're here for basketball first storytelling, hit subscribe. We'll track the front court dominoes all off season, and when the first one falls, we'll be here with the film. There's also the coaching piece. No one is talking about enough. A move like this only works if the staff has a day one plan. Set touch counts, define crash rules, and script the first 5 sets that get Angel easy boards and quick fouls drawn. That structure turns energy into outcomes. If Atlanta pairs clear film goals, rebound margins, second chance points, tech count with real accountability, the noise fades and the identity hardens. Stars buy in when the plan is specific and the feedback is fast. And don't forget the calendar. The first 10 games will write the headline for the season. If the Dream stack ugly wins, own the glass and close fourth quarters with composure, the rest of the league will adjust to them, not the other way around. That's when the brand flips from controversy to inevitability. You can argue quotes all week, but if the box score keeps saying +10 on the boards and +8 at the line, the conversation changes. That's how a rumour becomes a run.